YouTube! Today on Write On, I will be exploring the topic of surveillance in dystopian futures. Dystopias, like most science fiction and fantasy stories, require extensive world building. As a writer, you will need to ask yourself questions and figure out the answers to make your fictional world more realistic and believable. A common theme in most dystopias is the surveillance state. We picture the government overseeing all, with cameras inside homes and asking citizens to report on others' behaviour, as is portrayed in 1984 by George Orwell. But cameras aren't the only form of surveillance. Professor José van Dijck, in her paper Datafication, Dataism and Dataveillance, defines dataveillance as the monitoring of citizens on the basis of their online data. She goes on to explain one very important difference between standard surveillance and dataveillance. Surveillance presumes monitoring for specific purposes. Dataveillance entails the continuous tracking of metadata for unstated, preset purposes. When Snowden exposed the amount of dataveillance collected by the NSA, public trust in government surveillance declined. But why do we accept similar surveillance from private corporations? Van Dijck posits that citizens have become so accepting of their private data being collected by corporations because of the payoff of comfort and security. So why don't we consider where we are now a dystopia? Or do we? When you are crafting your world, think about the type of government. Does anarchy rule? Is it a totalitarian regime? A corporatocracy? How did it get that way? And what types of surveillance do they use? Did technology make things worse? If it did, what if the citizens don't even realise it? Minority Report explores that, with the pre-crime division of the police arresting people for something they haven't even done yet. This is a dystopia that builds on Foucault's panopticon concept, except instead of a central tower of surveillance in a prison, the three precogs survey the whole city. So when creating your story, ask yourself these questions. Is there surveillance in your world? Who is it that's being surveilled? And who is doing the surveilling? Is it accepted by the public? Is it obvious, or is it hidden? The answers to these questions will inform your writing, give your world a richer background to base your characters in, and hopefully give you some themes to work with. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe below for more information on how to become a writer.